see here. Oh, okay.
Contacted them through Discord private messages.
Okay, I'm gonna paste you the stats a bit here.
Yeah, I'm getting no responses back
Okay.
through Discord. I'm gonna send the both of them an invite, alright?
Okay, yeah.
Even though they haven't asked for it.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. We can do that quick.
You're sure it's Panic Button, right?
Yeah, it's Blackwatch, yeah. Alright. Oh no, this is not the right info. What the heck?
Okay, just checking because, like, maybe.
Well, on the sheet there's no one else except Panic Button on that leader slot, so oops. Snip. This is the correct sheet, sorry. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna cue up the music. Give me a second here.
Alright, got responses from both. Panic
Okay.
Button, it says they're warming up. And
Okay.
TK said in like 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Plenty of time. Starting a little bit. Starting a little bit on time. A little bit backwards is fine too. Let's put the music soon. No. Dun, okay, save. Save and let's go. Alright. And here we are, folks. And on MWO2 Leagues 2, we have myself, Dream and Dark Shadow, and my co-host, Texan Scrublord.
It's me, Texan Scrublord again.
Sorry, it's we're just trying to get things all set up here. Oh, Whoops, looks like I messed up. Yeah, no. Crossfire was registered as Team 1. Weird. Why does it say on the sheet there it's their Team 1 then on the ISC scheduling? Oh, never mind, I got that mixed up. Sorry. Crossfire's Team 2, Blackwatch is Team 1. Whoopsies. So slightly switched here a bit, but sorry, my mistake. But we have both teams, 3 games to 1. Going for possibly their 4th. Who knows? We'll see. Up this match up. But without ado, let's take a look at the pilots here. We have Fuzzy NZ with match score per tonnage, 8 damage per ton, and TK87 with 71 assists and total components destruction with 43. Again, TK87. While on the pilots to look out for on the 228 Blackwatch side, we have Panic Button and Dome 925 twice. Panic Button with a 5.5 match score per tonnage and 47 assists for Dome, as well as 33 component destruction. Wow. And for tonight's matchup, we're going to be looking out for these particular mechs. The Fleet 17 by Clan Crossfire, 28 damage per ton. Wow, And on the 228 side, we have the Kintaro 18, the highest mech damage per ton with 12 damage per ton. While looking further down, the total damage for the chassis they have used there's a very interesting situation there with medium pulse bolts, Vulcan 5 Tango, and the Uzil 6 Papa. And the total damage for the Vulcan 5 Tango for the Clan Crossfire is 6,655 damage, while the Uzil 6 Papa is 4,385 total damage for Blackwatch 228. Alright. And we have the participants in their respective lobby. My apologies for the incorrect setting there. Let's double check here at the score sheet. Oh, yeah, score sheet is kind of flipped. So, let's just do that for now. Okay. And it looks like 228 is locked with 320 total tonnage. And let's take a quick look at the map we're facing here. And it is Grim Plexus, is that correct?
That's correct. For the first 2 rounds, it's Grim. Next 2, I believe it. Mining?
Okay. So, yes. Grim Plexus with
And finally, Canyon Network.
Indeed, and finally Canyon Network for the 5th drop. Well, let's see here. We have an interesting split here for Team 1. We have Panic Button and Admiral Kareem Jesus in Alpha Lands. Interesting situation there. We have the Potato Hunter, Dome 925, Oblivion, SK, and Green Blade on Charlie. Ooh. Bravo has a bit of a mid-stack there. Interesting enough. And we have a similar setup with with the clan Crossfire, except they're slightly stacked upon the Charlie position there for now. They haven't said they're locked yet, so they're still mulling a bit about their situation here. Alright. And let's take another quick peek at the map strat here. So we have tree caps. We do not, we basically contest over actually, which is Sigma, Kappa, and Gamma. We do not touch Theta or Epsilon on this particular map. So this is how it's gonna be for this particular map situation. And looks like Team 2 has one on Alpha, possibly just to scout that. Similar situation with Team 1 and Team 2. Both has Charlie and Alpha with that one mech. While Bravo will have two mechs there with TK-87, Fuzzy NZ for Team 2, which is bring up the sheet here. Okay, here we go. So we have Team 2 situation right there. So they are ready as well. Okay. They declared that they're locked? Okay, looks like Clan Crossfire is locked. Looks like it's probably some last minute check on consumables, and here we go.
Oh, they said locked.
What?
They said locked. Might as well start it.
Indeed.
No checking consumables at that point.
Well, the main thing is that they haven't moved their mechs or mech weight as far as we can tell, so nothing is at a
I
miss
mean,
here.
it's technically something with changing your loadout, which unreadies you. It could make a significant difference, I would argue. Whether having your consumables or forgetting them for the real match, haha.
Yeah, indeed. Alright, let's take a look at these mechs here. Looks like I have Team Blue side. I have, oh my goodness, 5 Uziel, 6 Papa. Oh my goodness. With 8 Grasshopper, 5 Juliet. And how about your side, Texan? What do you see there?
Looks like you're doing something similar to the JGX strat.
Oh, okay. It looks like
Taking, but they're AC2 Annihilators, but they have a wolf pack heading straight to Kappa.
oh, indeed.
Little do they know that Watermelon Brigade is just heading straight to Gamma.
Indeed. It looks like they've that one mech, I believe it is the Uziel. Yeah, it's actually back there handling the rear guard. And it looks like knives, I think. Let's take a quick look.
Also, some nice flag bolt-ons from Admiral Korean.
Captain Cat, actually, and Fuzzy NZ.
Kappa is under enemy control.
Is covering Kappa. No activity in Kappa for them. Looks like they've
Will they be able to scout out the MPL brawl that 228 is bringing? Have to wait and see.
indeed.
EXF has a perfect opportunity to just show their faces out here in the open with those AC2 Annies versus the MPL brawl.
But it looks like the AC2 Annies are just sitting back at the Sigmar. Okay.
I think Fuzzy, as soon as he gets on top of that hill, he'll be able to detect that around Epsilon there's an MPL brawl, but He's just checking every crook and cranny to make sure we're not missing like a stealth fleet some other 228 teams have deployed.
Indeed. But it looks like Knives is probably the first person to encounter the 228
CSF
brawl.
is finally realizing something is wrong. Finally sending all their light packs back to Sigma, it looks like.
Oh, we have fire coming through.
Panic Button's engaging the commando, dealing 1% damage.
Knives has some intel. He sees medium pulse lasers. And Panic Button is right on that point there. A UAV has been launched by Knives. A UAV from
EXF's Wolfpack are trying to converge in on this point.
Strike on the point here. Looks like Panic Button just deftly evades it. Oh, and yes,
He receives 1% damage from that strike.
Indeed. And
RNG has blessed him this day.
And it looks like the lights on Clan Crossfire definitely avoided that strike. And yet another strike. Oh my goodness. This time Panic Button wasn't too lucky. He got 10% off of that. My goodness. That's strange. It looks like the Annihilators are just waiting to receive the brawl push here. Maybe they're...
I mean, it is a really good tactic to do, though. It looks like 228 are going to push after the light pack.
Okay. And it looks like
XF is trying to receive.
Is actually split half the bit, but because they're lights, they can actually regroup pretty fast with the team. But looks
Is
like...
that Wolfhound pack? Maybe we're going to come back and take Sigma?
Not sure. Looks like that. Yep. Looks like Fuzzy and Zed is on it right now. And 228 seems to be at a loss, perhaps. Just regrouping at the middle location right by Sigma.
And they know what they're doing. They're not pushing beyond that corner. They don't know what's over there yet. And now they scouted the Annies. Now they know to not poke over again.
And strikes have launched. Didn't see the smoke though. That's pretty sneaky.
228 has the 2-cap lead again. It's like CXF might have to get aggressive with their light pack here.
Or maybe push a tiny bit with the Annihilators. Hard to say. We'll see. More strikes landed on Panic Button and a bit on the Uzi.
Panic Button's starting to get really unlucky with those strikes, already down to 69%.
We have really good trades from the medium pulse boats versus the Wolf.
Oh no, Dom is overextended. I think he's going to get punched by the AC2s.
Doesn't seem like it. He's just slightly looking there. Might be a good opportunity perhaps for one of the fast lights to go for Gamma.
It's a possibility, but they are scouting using Queen Blade on the outer areas, so they would have to go for the extremely long cap, which...
Yeah, currently they're losing on the tickets now with 2 points down. Oh, Fuzzy and Zed is actually pushing in a little bit. Trading a bit with Panic Button and Oblivion. Oh, Admiral Korean Jesus ate that strike in his grasshopper. Ooh,
and there goes his flags. Rest in peace, bolt-ons.
Indeed. Well, it looks like he still has that one flag, so no worries. And looks like they're really concentrated on trying to keep a good visual on Sigma for today. But wonder how long this standoff will be.
Looks like this is gonna last the entire game, at least until both teams are out of strikes.
Oh, Captain Cat is getting some burns in. And it looks like they might be... Nope, they're not securing Sigma any further. Probably not necessary, I guess. The Annihilators are pretty fresh, though. I wonder, what's the whole... is it a bad idea to actually push on them a tiny bit on the side there? Or what do you think,
I
Mason?
personally would say while they still have strikes, it is a bad idea versus the MPL boats. It's because if you push with the Annies, you're giving up your ballistic range advantage.
Oh, but it looks like the Annies are getting a little bit antsy here. They're slowly pushing up. Nikoro and Steelwater is trying to angle a little bit for the... oh, looks like PPCs and AC2s. Interesting. Oh, yes. And
Those are 1 year peeps and 6 AC2s.
And
Those Annies have been a favorite of a lot of people.
And it looks like Doomguard chose the medium lasers for backups. And
228 are just getting out of there. Admiral Queen Jesus unfortunately losing a lot of health here.
Indeed. They might actually... Oh! Yep. Looks like Queen Blade is going for Kappa. And looks like a pretty good trade for those Clan Crossfire at this point. They won the health war, I think, somewhat. Panic Button barely...
It is correct, but remember, these are mediums versus like a lot of CXF's lights are taking almost similar amounts, I would say.
At 83 and 76 percentiles, quite possible indeed, yeah. But at the moment, the two mechs, Admiral Korean Jesus and Panic Button at 50 percentiles, they're probably feeling a bit anxious, a bit possibly.
These Annies are just going at Mach speed, going to that G10 Overwatch.
Oh my goodness,
It's
and
like
a
very
lot of
slowly.
it's back damage on Admiral Korean Jesus. Oh, he ate that AC2 damage quite well, solidly there, and it looks like all of Panic Button's armor is in red. And it looks like the Clan Crossfire is going for the F10, F11 position. And it looks like the two lights piloted by TK87 and Knives is going for Gamma.
Command confirming we have possession of Kappa.
It looks like 228 might... yep, they definitely know that something's going on. Dome 925 is actually going now to check that whole situation there. Although with the rate that it's going, it's definitely more than one mech on the point, so he has to play a little bit careful here.
They
They have taken the cap, waiting for backup MPL boats, but
Yeah, it's the two.
by the time they engage, the AC2 Annies are all going to be over there.
Indeed. And
Need to provide Overwatch on top of big medium mechs may not be the beneficial. DK is getting focused
yes,
all the way down to 66, 64.
And it looks like Captain Cat is just back there, ready to assist their players. Although, ooh, the Grasshopper's getting banged up a bit here.
But there's no way to get Panic Button with the AC2s from that position. You're just going to take the cap advantage back.
And
Unless the other AC2 Annie can get there in time.
Oh, he's managed to get a few damage on Panic Button there.
Oh, and here comes the strike, but they took the cap back.
And it looks like Funzy NZ is going for the Kappa cap. Oh boy, within
Oh, believe
100.
we have a 2v2 between. Oh wait, no, this might turn to a 3v2 unless TK and Captain Cat get out of it.
Oh no.
TK is going down,
TK's legged. Oh no.
and he's gone.
That is, well, that is a disappointment for Clan Crossfire, but they're still in the game. It looks
Oh,
like
and Crossfire taking back the Kappa point with this
Indeed.
2 cap advantage. They may take it back. All of 2-2-8 is clustered again since they won that 3v2 back over there.
But it looks like they're pushing on Gamma. Oh. Knives is taking that position now.
This is the correct response from these annihilators. And just stay stuck on that point forever.
Looks like the Annihilator pushing in with their AC2s and laying down the law there.
I dare say that unless 2-2-8 can somehow get to the other side of the map. Wait, it looks like they have a couple people going to Sigma. If they take Kappa back, then they could potentially win. Fortunately, they have 2 guys that just have to hold on for dear life here, trying to contest Gamma.
And it looks like the Crossfire people may have an idea that they're going to be contested, and it looks like Fuzzy and Zed is actually
and Fuzzy's got a whole back shot into him.
Oh my. And
I think Panic Button's gonna go down.
Indeed. Panic Button is just CT damage by the looks of it. Oh boy. He's really twisting that mech.
I mean, he has to. Try as much time as he can.
Legged. And he's down. Oh boy. The Commando is going
He
after
bought enough time to decap Kappa.
On these mechs.
All that needs to happen now is Queen Blade needs to get through those dimensional hitboxes the Commando has.
And oh no, it is still advantage Clan Crossfire. He needs to twist that thing, make sure that they don't get that point. Oh, and oh no, this might be
I do believe this will go into CXS's favor.
Indeed.
There's not enough time
Just
for
not enough.
that 2 cap to make a difference, it looks like.
And it looks like indeed.
Job from Fuzzy.
The ultimate sacrifice that helped the team. Look at that Commander 1 Delta just wrecking this Uzil. Wow, what a nail-biting match here, folks. Woo. And it looks like both teams came off with 2 kills there. Interesting.
It was a cap strat on freaking Grimplexes. Who would have thought Kappa?
Alright, I'm gonna paste these stats here.
Okay, so some of the teams are leaving.
Okay, I'm gonna show the stats here. And let's take a quick look at the damage scores. Oh. Indeed. My goodness, that dimensional hitboxes you were talking about, my goodness, they also gave dimensional damage as well. Holy smokes. 494 damage for Knives in the Commando 1 Delta, and Fuzzy NZ with 363 damage, and Captain Cat in the Wolfhound 2, 363. My goodness. That's quite a nice duplication of score there. Damage scores. And Stillwater in the Annihilator, 320. Fresh as pretty much from the Mac Factory mint condition. And the Wolfhound 2 piloted by TK87, 157 damage, 57 damage. And Nikoro Doomguard with 161 damage, with a slight dint on his paint job there. On the 228 side, we have Panic Button trying his best in that Uzi 06 Papa, 205 damage. Doomguard 92, again with the Uzi 06 Papa, 239 damage. Oblivion with 177 damage. Abrian Korean Jesus with 182 with the Grasshopper, and the rest of the Uzios piloted by Queen Blade, 209, and Toko the Potato Hunter, 95 damage. Interesting. What do you think about that situation, Texan?
It was a interesting play of the JG Extra on the complete other side of the map.
Oh, do you need the link, by the way? For the
Which one?
the map link. It's working now, so we can actually show it.
I'm just waiting for the other team to get back in because they're laptop.
Okay. I guess I'll draw a little bit what I recollect here. Alright, we had Blue Team, which is Team 1. They actually went to Gamma, then they went through, no wait, they went this way. They peeked a bit here. We went through here. Fought a bit there, went this way. While Red Team, we had both lights going this way. Assault basically here, and Sigma, and as I recollect, they went from here, possibly through Hamburger Hill, stayed around here for a bit, then did a little bit of combat here, and after that, they all went to the location F10, F11, took Gamma, Blue Team, I believe split off, took Kappa, did take Sigma for a while, and eventually the fight was made here at this particular explosion spot, which basically signified the main game. And Blue Fire as well, we'll do that. Blue Fire was there, but in the end, they gave up Gamma. Quite a bit of conflict here in Sigma initially. Mostly strikes. And we had some issues here in Delta 8. And I think eventually became a cap game. Wait,
Okay, it looks like they're finally back.
Okay.
Should I do some explanation of your drawing or something?
Sure, please. Go ahead.
Alright, so CXF, they made a wolf pack, a 4-man or 3, and tried to take Kappa because they were expecting a fight first there. But there wasn't any, so when they took the 2 cap, the Annies just held back, waiting for a push from 228 against their AC2 Annies, because realistically, pushing with AC2 Annies versus MPLs is going to have a bad time for yourself. So they just waited on the 2 cap. 228 though, they were able to secure Sigma for the longest of time. Realized that after they were out of strikes, to put pressure on them from the lights and commandos.
Indeed.
They forced the Annies to go up there and push and retake Sigma. After that, 228 retreated in force and took back Kappa and tried to defend Gamma to the best of their abilities. It was a really close on caps, but maybe if the first person they sent to Kappa just stayed there instead of coming back to help with the 2v2, could have just swung back in Blackwatch's favor, I would say.
I think they probably segmented a bit too much on Echo 7 instead of sending that one light pilot in Kappa. But in the end, those last few seconds could have made a difference. With Gamma being finally capped near the end, that also nailed the coffin for 228. Unable to fight back against that AC2 Annihilators piloted by Doomguard and I believe it was double check here. Doomguard and Stillwater, indeed. And it looks like we have one of the teams locked. Team 1 is ready. Currently it is the Clan Crossfire situation here. Looks like they are Alpha Bravo stacked. So looking at the stats a bit here, let's go to a fresh new map. And for Team 1, Alpha Bravo, probably a similar situation of maybe pushing the Gamma portion there. And let's take a quick look at Team 2 here. Looks like a Bravo heavy stack instead. So we don't exactly know which way they're gonna go for 228. For the initial
I mean, we haven't even got a lock from 228, so let's refrain from talking about Lance positions from them yet. Unless they're about to say ready right now.
Well, they're all green, so I guess they're solidly set on this particular setting here. Alright, and indeed, it looks like the Bravo central position. And it looks like weight-wise, we have 228 maximizing their weight at 325 tons, while Clan Crossfire going with an under 5 tons with 320 tons on their drop deck. Alright, here we go. Oh, we have some sort of connection issue happening.
What? You mean that someone hasn't connected yet? I'm gonna blame that on the Aussies. Yeah.
Indeed. Oh, and here we go. We have blue team. Looks like triple Vulcan 5 Tangos, 2 Jaeger mechs, a double D and a S, Sierra variant,
Any hostiles that get in
Double
your way.
Delta, and a Warhammer 6 Delta. And how about your side with the 228 there?
It looks like there's a crab rush with a single Knight of Color. Good on them for bringing the Knight of Culture.
And it looks like, oh,
Fires it all.
5 crabs, 4 crab 27 Bravos, a crab 20, and a Black Knight 7L. Okay. And as predicted, looks like Clan Crossfire is stacking the Gamma push there. And an interesting strategy by the 228. They have actually taken the Hamburger Hill position, well, pretty close to that.
This is curious. The double D on CXF side has 4 UAC2s instead of the 5 standard.
Interesting. That's a pretty manly build, but RNGesus may not smile on him. We'll see. And it looks like Fuzzy NZ is looking scouting.
Fuzzy is about to encounter the first crab, or he's going to look in the complete wrong direction.
I think he spotted them and he's now withdrawing, and it looks like he's
Oh,
taking
now
quite a
he
bit of
knows they're
damage.
behind them, that's for sure.
Oh no, he's just eating all that damage. Oh no, he's running into the wall.
Not much
there.
he can do.
But he has a UV out, which alerted
Immediately
the
gets
presence.
taken down. 228 does not like other teams putting up 5,000 UAVs.
And it looks like the Jaegers are in position.
The Jaegers seem to still be wanting to rotate, even though they scouted out this push. Maybe a problem with their engagement.
Looks like the terrain doesn't favor them too well in this position, perhaps. They're moving towards the F10 location. Uh-oh, the Jaegers might be caught out if they don't speed up their W key.
Go faster, put on speed tweak 5 head.
Indeed, yes. And it looks like the Warhammer is walking backwards.
Crab rush is about to start happening. XF probably knows this as they aren't scouting them anywhere else. And here starts the firing line versus the crab rush.
Indeed, it looks
Panic
like...
is getting focused, it looks like, but no, they're switching targets to Dom.
Looks like the damage is a bit spread between the team. They're not focusing on particular components by the looks of it. Oh no, this is not looking good.
And now they're in MPL range. The Jaegers are just getting it. The
Indeed.
Vulcans are coming in behind.
There goes the first Jaeger. Second Jaeger is taking quite a bit of damage.
Now he's down.
Knives is just taking
The
down
majority
the
of Crossfire's DPS is now gone.
Oh, the Jaegers went down indeed. Oh boy. Let's take a look here. Oh, and it looks like Knives went down in his Warhammer Delta, 6 Delta. And oh no, TK is next. Captain Cat and Fuzzy NZ. This might be a problem for them at the moment. Unable to
Power
fight
of these
against-
crustaceans are overwhelming against CXF.
Indeed. Oh no, and Fuzzy NZ cooked himself. And he shut down and he took at least 25% damage. while
He's
shut down.
gone. And the only
And
person
he's
left
down.
is Captain Cat.
Oh no.
Anything he can do now is hope that 228 does not use the 5 people they still have left to cap.
I'm pretty sure that will happen.
Yeah. Trying to get the point as close as possible. Noble attempt. That's maybe securing another kill or more points in general.
Oh, and Captain Cat
Oh, he's
is
coming back.
coming back. He's not
I'm
gonna.
gonna avenge his Fallen brethren.
Indeed.
5e1 him, he says.
Oh, he's actually. Oh, something critical
Leg.
just went. Looks like his leg, and
There
looks
you
like
go.
he stopped for a moment. Looks like he didn't override either. Okay. Looks like we're a bit of friendly fire there. I think.
Now we just need for someone to cap.
Yeah, they just.
T28 just cap something.
Yeah, all he needs to cap Epsilon, and that's game. And just a quick reminder, after all the mechs are down on the enemy side, Epsilon and Data are open for caps. So it's fine to cap. Because both, Clan Crossfire is actually completely out of mechs.
They've taken Epsilon.
And they have GG. From a nail biter to a brawl out. Holy smokes. What is there to expect, folks? Unexpectable things happening.
Alright, and now we're gonna switch to the Mining Collective.
Alright. And just input some of these scores here. One for one. My goodness, what a fight.
While waiting for the teams, I'll help you with the map share.
Sure, it'd be appreciated. I'm just gonna get the score sheet up. And going down through the list here. Holy smokes, we have Archon Adam Steiner in the Black Knight, or Knight of Color, as Michael Casser says. 543 damage. And his fellow crab brethren, 344 damage by Panic Button. Need a Pickle with 286 damage. Todok, the Potato Hunter, at 270 damage. Oblivion with 332 damage. And Doomguard 925 with 102 damage. And on the Clan Crossfire side, we have Captain Cat in his Vulcan 5 Tango, 332 damage. TK with the Vulcan, same mech, 192 damage. Knives and the Warhammer 6 Delta with 199. The Vulcan 5 Tango, piloted by Fuzzy NZ, 208 damage. Danish Cool with 140 damage, and Jaeger S, and Doomguard with the Jaeger double D's, doing 171 damage. Not doing double D damage. Alright, let's take a quick look at the strategy board here. So it looks like Texan has written a few things here. Please walk us through it.
Okay. So 228 did a good old-fashioned brawl rush. That path kind of represents the path through main force with the crabs and the Black Knight. They obviously still took like a cap, Sigma, and just met up. And they converged on top of G9, and they caught the Jaegers still positioning themselves through H10 and G10.
Mm-hmm.
So they just pushed on that advantage since the Jaegers didn't extend the engagement by rotating up to like the F10 hill, I would say. Maybe if they went farther back, like I9, that would have been a closer engagement, maybe.
Hmm. Quite possible. But it looks like they
But
started.
the issue here, I feel most was after Dom went down for 228s, their firing line kind of collapsed on CXF side.
Mm-hmm.
So then they were just getting outbrawled by the Crabs and the one Black Knight with MPLs. Just didn't have enough DPS after their two Jaegers went down to deal with the rush,
And it
which
looked
were focused first.
and it looked like also that they had one light trying to go for the flank there for the clan Crossfire side, but he was way too late in engaging the enemy
No, they had two lights. It was Cat and Cat and TK, I believe,
in the
on the
back.
flank.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that might have been a factor
It
in that
came from the
situation.
F9, F10 wall, kind of. That little hill
Mm-hmm.
where it blocks most progress, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it looks like interesting situation here with an Alpha Charlie split 14-1. Let's take a quick look. See on our next map here. Team 1 with Alpha Charlie. Looks like a Echo 2, Fox 2 position. While looks like 228 is taking the Alpha Charlie and then Bravo position. Stacking a little bit heavy on the Alpha position. And Bravo, of course, you have the two mechs as well. Going to take advantage of that situation as well. We'll take a quick switch here. Indeed.
We're gonna launch. Both teams said they're ready.
Okay, and it looks like Clan Crossfire is going 15 tons under the limit. So 310 tonnage for...
Might see a brawly format from CXF since they're going under ton, wanting more of that speed over the armor.
Indeed. And let's take a quick look here. Oops. Excuse me.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Just hiccuped. And we have some connection issues once again.
I still blame the CXF, the Aussie Internet OP, Cap. Especially when they're playing those commandos. Dimensional hitboxes, and then you get the ping hitboxes.
Indeed. Oh, and it's still not showing the map. Oh, there we go. And it looks like we have on red team side, which is 228, 2 Phoenix Hawks,
Coming in.
1
Capture
Blackjack,
resource point.
1
Any
Grasshopper,
hostiles that get in your way.
1 Victor, and 1 Vulcan. Okay. The Victor's a 9 Alpha 1, piloted by Korean Jesus, 2 Phoenix Hawk 2s, Grasshopper's the 5 Juliet variant, and a Blackjack 3. And how about your side with Clan Crossfire?
It looks like we got a mix of like regular laser vomit on some of these grasshoppers.
Oh, and we see PPC fire for all.
ABCs, and we have some surprisingly slow-looking Phoenix Hawk from Stillwater.
Hmm.
CXF is taking an Overwatch position.
Oh, this is
Your
interesting.
Blackjock is heavy PPCs across the map.
Looks
I
like.
don't know if that's the most effective loadout here.
And it looks like Doomguard favors the 5 medium pulse Phoenix Hawk too. Interesting. Maybe tonnage for jump jets or heat sinks. But oh my goodness, Steelwatch just ate that strike.
Yeah, and he's down to 83%.
Oh boy.
That strike did not hit a single
Enemy forces
person
have
against
Sigma.
228.
No.
Pepperoni. See who praises RNG today. CXF are trying to win the trades, it looks like, because they're not even taking the Gamma Cap versus 228.
And looks like the Vulcan, or sorry, the 9A1 has double heavy gulls as well. Waiting to capitalize on that.
And Stillwater down to 71%, but he is orange.
Oh no.
60%.
This is not.
He's
looking
getting
good.
ganked.
Oh, his CT is totally open. Oh my.
Oh, he's might just get taken out by that grasshopper if he dares peeks again. To
Looks like
probably just take the cap and wait and
multiple UAVs up, and they're not going for the capital. This might
The
be
A is controlled by the enemy.
an issue here later in the game.
and 228 now has the 2 cap. You just have to wait for CXF to engage.
Oh no.
CXF it's being forced into a kill box, it looks like.
Yeah, that's the health position.
And CXF is making the push now against Emerald, Korean Jesus, and Totok.
And it looks like Totox and Emerald Korean Jesus is repositioning as fast as they can. And it looks like the Grasshopper is just shooting.
And there goes Cat and Cat, absolutely
Oh, no.
demolished.
Ouch.
And Stillwater got caught out near the front line.
Oh,
Know
my.
why he's going to the front with a red CT, but it had to happen, unfortunately.
Yep. It's nothing much.
Knives trading with heavy PPCs across the map against the Grasshopper. Know if that's the best use of his optimal damage.
There's an issue with the blackjack as well. Heavy PPCs indicates 90-meter minimum range. Oh no. And that looks like the grasshopper on
This is just
Crossfire
turning into
side
a
is,
slaughter.
oh,
CXF is getting caught on this low ground by a concave that 228 formed from several sides.
Oh no. This is
All they can do to react is try to dodge strikes. There he goes, down to Dom.
oh boy. I didn't know it's gonna be this lopsided. That's a bit of a troublesome issue here.
And he just got oofed on. Rip Fuzzy.
And Knives is still next to go. Rip
The enemy has
Knives.
capped enough resources.
6-0 in favor of Blackwatch.
Indeed. Oh boy. And yeah, the damage numbers do not look good. Oh boy. They had a pretty good first match with that cap win, and I'm not sure what happened in this round, but oh boy, you're gonna see a few double Ds here. Let's see here.
I'll go ahead and read off some of the stats if you send me the.
Sure. Here we go. Enjoy. And let me update the client here.
Just checking to make sure. Driven. I'm getting some responses that maybe your microphone has changed a little bit. Just check. I guess.
Okay. Is it too soft?
A little bit of static.
Oh, static. Oh no.
Alright, and from CXF side first, unfortunately, your top player, Knives, it looks like only dealt 133, 172 damage to the enemy team. Then comes in TK87 with a little bit less match score, dealing only 173. Unfortunately, lot of lost trades, particularly from some really lucky strikes on from 228 side, just absolutely demolishing some of them. Steelwater getting caught out in the back versus 4 MPL boats, I believe. And from 228 side, we have some really green mechs still. The lowest health one being that HGOS Victor. The HGOS Victor just carrying their team in raw damage numbers, securing most of the KMDDs and kills during that match. Obviously, the second best being Oblivion SK with his 436 damage Phoenix Hawk. And the Phoenix Hawk securing 2 KMDDs but not kills.
Mm-hmm. How does my microphone sound to you in Discord?
I don't know purposely because
Like right now to you.
I honestly can't tell the difference. My personal hearing is not that amazing.
Oh, I see.
Not the best one to ask. Hopefully it's a little bit better for the audience in the future, but and let's
And yeah, asking.
CXF now. All right. The re-invite panic button back into the lobby.
Okay. Not too sure why they're leaving lobby, but this works, I guess.
They don't want to show their mechs to the other team.
Oh, okay. I mean, they're going to. Yeah. I mean, they're recording, publishing the matches, so as far as I know, they're going to see it anyway, so. Alright. Let's take a quick gander at the map strat here. Yeah, I have the fan also blowing in the background. It is a bit toasty here. And let's take a quick look at this situation as I recollect. I believe that they went basically here, here, and then they finally tried to push around. There was that.
That's my best attempt at drawing, putting images down of what looks like 228 strat.
Mm-hmm.
It had a bunch of MPL boats being aggressive. They encroaching on top of Theta and then even moving up the E5 pass a little bit to catch out one of CXF's people out in the open even.
Okay. Yeah. Can't see the map properly. There we go.
And then it just ended up turning into a strike war where CXF may have been bundled up a little bit too closely, so they just started, fortunately, losing their power positions at Echo 4, then getting stuck on the low ground of Echo 5, which was a kill box, basically.
Oh, they were on top here for a bit too, I believe, on Echo 4. Then they kind of went a weird transition there. Like that. Alright, let's take, let's look at, switch the stats for a bit again, and let's see here. Looks like Team 1 is locked. 228 is currently ready. Looks like a position for Alpha Charlie and 1 on Bravo.
Alright, 228 is locked. Now we just have to wait for CXF to adapt, overcome. Hopefully kick some ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
You CXF fans in chat? Hopefully.
Oh, looks like Team 2 is ready with an Alpha Charlie strong position on Team 2. Interesting.
Alright, we are starting. CXF said they were locked.
Alright. And let's take a quick look at this situation here. Oh, once again, the Aussies are taking a bit of time to load up.
Just doing
Oh, and here we go. Looks like on the red side, that's where I am at.
looks like a similar strat from CXF this time, but they're taking a more brawl-oriented Victor and Assassin.
Blackjack 3 from Knights once again. The Phoenix Hawk 2 from Fuzzy NL, or NZ, sorry. Grasshopper 5 Juliet with TK87. The Victor 9S from Stillwater. Phoenix Hawk 2 from Captain Cat. And Laugh Out Loud Barbecue with that Assassin 23. And how about your side? There, for blue side?
I believe it's the same loadout from Blackwatch,
Oh.
mirrored on the other side of the map. That Archon and Steiner's taking the 5J. I thought they took the 5H last round, but I'm probably wrong.
As I recollect, they've brought the 5J last round too.
Alright. It's era largest across the map. But will 228 be ready to receive the brawl from mechs such as the Chad Victor,
Yeah.
the Assassin?
Again, once again with 5 ER largest from Archon Steiner.
And TK just getting smacked by ER peeps. And Cat crew looks to be kinda... Maybe his team's feeling kinda stuck, don't know where to push against a team that's spread out across the map like 228.
Oh no. It looks like they're just in for a brawl situation here from
Their grasshoppers
Crossfire.
repositioning across the map, it looks like, taking...
Sigma, no doubt. My goodness. That's the Vulcan piloted by
The
Fan
3
Puppet.
cap. DXF needs to do something. They can't wait all day for 228 to come to them.
Yeah, the match will be over in approximately 5 minutes or less at this rate. Oh, just from the caps.
Panic Button is getting caught out alone, I think.
But he
No.
managed to actually get back to the Grasshopper for safety.
DXF is just spreading out across the map, I feel.
Oh no.
Way too much.
Stillwater is
Stillwater.
caught out alone.
I don't think they scouted us. Oh, and now they know he's there because he shot.
Mm-hmm. And so... oh no. Let's see here.
DXF is taking back one of the cap points, but anybody's interrupting them. Probably.
Oh, and Archon Steiner is just
The area is controlled by the enemy.
giving the ER larges whenever he has a chance at looking at them. Oh. Oh.
DXF is losing a lot of armor here with this push deck.
Mhm.
More push stylized, that is.
And it looks like
Or
that,
the brawl actually really starts. And there goes Knives. Rest in peace of the heavy PPC Blackjack.
Oh, and Phoenix Hawk was challenging the Victor 981 in that heavy Gauss setup, but he quickly backed off.
Oblivion SK is lagged. Now the brawl is
boy.
happening. DXF versus like 3 lights over here, but the 2 of them are escaping onto the high ground while they're still trying to take down Oblivion.
And,
Oblivion's just getting farmed for all he has.
And oh,
There
Panic
goes
Button
Stillwater.
takes out the Victor. Wow. This
Cat and TK very hurt, and there goes TK and his Grasshopper.
Oh no.
Cat just got smashed by the DHG Victor.
LOL Barbecue goes down next. Oh no.
Goes the Assassin. Now it's Fuzzy in a 5v1.
Oh no. This is a familiar
Emerald Kareem
situation.
Jesus is probably gonna secure that. And he got it in the rear of Fuzzy. That must have been painful.
Tactical benefit.
Ouch.
Having 50 pinpoint front loaded damage just blown into his rear. That was kind of a mirror deck, except the Assassin was different. And the weapon loadouts were more mid-range oriented for CXF,
Indeed.
fortunately.
Yeah, the 5 Juliet had large lasers for TK-87 and 3 medium lasers, 2 larges and 3 mediums, something like that. I can't recollect, but oh my goodness, wow, what a one lack of force here from Clan Crossfire.
And with that, we're gonna start our switch to Canyon Network. 228 has technically won this matchup, but Crossfire may come in with a genius maneuver and take one more win from them, make it 3-2.
That would be good to see. It would affect their placing slightly. And let's take a quick gander at that match score, and let me switch to screens.
And let's go over 228's performance. It looks like Admiral Green Jesus is at the top of their damage lead again with his dual heavy Gauss Victor, just smashing all the lighter MPL mech and securing 2 kills and no KMDDs, just kill securing like a boss.
Okay, And yeah, and just
Its second top contributor for 228 being Dom and the Phoenix Sock again, I believe. Securing 1 kill, 2 KMDDs. And there's not very much team damage, so probably no other stat. So well spread out damage, I would say. No one below 200. But from CXF side, we have Fuzzy trying to carry with his Phoenix Hawk 2 with 293 damage being the top on CXF side. With the second highest being the Chad Victor with 227 damage. Unfortunately, it gets only worse from there, but gotta admit, they put up a much stronger fight than they did last time.
yeah, it looks like Mining Collective
In
is
raw damage numbers, at least. Not in kills, per se, because only one. But on them for trying it again with their best effort. Even though it looked like it was difficult for them to respond.
So, let's cut to the strategy here. Let's see here.
Alright, and I think I got most of what I remember seeing. Fortunately, CXF was a single, basically, death ball. And they tried to go down the middle. It looks like they weren't sure about what they were scouting, and they were losing a lot of trades due to absolute extreme long-range weapons such as ER larges and ER peeps. So they ended up getting whittled down some by the time they were pushing when they got outside of Theta. They were really low in health, and there was a concave in the middle of... Let me put a square down. There's a concave where most of CXF's forces were, and they just couldn't handle the last amount of people just all shooting them at once. By the time they got there in that one brawl.
Yeah, it seemed like they were hesitating a lot in with the push brawl tactics. In the end, it seemed like the Grasshopper on the 228 side actually took great advantage with the 5 medium laser setup that they had.
No, 5 ER larges on 228.
5 ER, yeah. 5 ER large lasers, yeah. Piloted by none other than Archon Steiner with 403 damage. And yeah, it was just drawing them out and picking them off. And it looks like Team 1 is locked. Let's take a quick gander at their positions here. And let's switch to last but not least, Canyon Network. 3 caps to worry about: Kappa, Theta, Epsilon. Do not touch Sigma, Gamma, and indeed. Yeah. let's take a quick look, and it looks like an Alpha Charlie for Team 1. And Team 2, it is also Alpha Charlie split. Interesting.
Looks like CXF's gonna lock soon.
Oh, the CFX just went red. That's and they say they're locked. Okay.
We are starting it up. Final match to determine whether or not it'll be 4-1 or 3 to, hopefully 3-2. Hope CXF can pull something out.
From the last tournament on the Moore tournament, they definitely started a bit weak in the beginning, but went out with a huge bang at the end.
They absolutely caused an upset by taking SA out of first place. Thank you for that, MC still CXF.
Of course, Texan has graciously used it all. Let's see here, and oh my goodness, we got big boys here from Clan Crossfire. The Jaeger S and the Annihilator 2 Alpha. Okay.
And from 228 side, taking an abnormal strategy, it looks like, with 2 DHG Victors spawning an Alpha Lance out of all things.
And it looks like the Annihilator and the Jaegers taking position at the junkyard.
2 Vulcans on top of Theta. They're getting nice trades against the other assassins.
And with triple assassins from Clan Crossfire, 2 23s and 1 21s, as well as
Either side is
Wolfhound.
taking the cap. It looks like they just want to gauge as hard as they can against each other. Captain Cat and Dennis with AC2 builded, I believe, are taking the junkyard, but Dennis, you okay there, buddy? Now they're going on to the lowest part of the canyon.
Oh no. They've been pushed off Theta by the Vulcans. And it looks like a very solid cap on Theta. And they're going for Kappa next. Oh. Looks like the Assassins is just sitting there, pretty. Doomguard did take quite a bit of damage in his Assassin 21. And oh, they're kind of worried about that Heavy Gauss Victors across the map. This is a bit of a challenging situation here. And it looks like
And
the
Queen
Assassin...
Blade has scouted the AC2 spam,
Oh,
I believe.
indeed. Looks like they're split up. The Jaeger on the right side and the
Will
Annihilator on the left.
228 possibly push on them? Oh, and Oblivion's getting hit by a couple AZ2s, not completely farmed yet.
Looks like he took some cosmetic damage there.
DXF needs to at least try to take like a 2 cap or ambush someone on 228 side, but
And
these assassins are getting a little bit too greedy, it looks like. Shooting at 300 meters instead of ambushing one within 100.
oh no, and the Vulcans are doing the exact thing you're mentioning. They're trying for that sneak attack. But they've actually went to
Sneak attack from both sides.
Mhm.
See what happens.
And it looks
Dual
like
Heavy
the
Gauss
Jaeger-
Victors could probably fight off the assassins though, to be fair. That much pinpoint front load damage, all it takes is like 1 or 2 good shots and the assassin's down out the fight.
And it looks like the Blackjack is sitting pretty with his sniping spot right by Sigma there. Sniping away at the enemy without any worries. And oh no. bit of convergence on data now. 4228.
Oh, now there's some trades on top of Theta. Oblivion's getting pelted by AC2s, but it looks like Dennis also got hit pretty badly by Pinpoint.
He's getting hit a bit by the Blackjack PPC. It looks like ER PPCs for the Blackjack.
Oh,
And
PPC
Duke
Overwatch popped start. Fortunately, it looks like CXF, while they're trading with Assassins and AC2 DACA, it's just not enough. And some of the more experienced ERPPC Pop-Tarts here, along with dual heavy Gauss mechs, just camping the Theta point.
Strangely enough, the percentages looks about even, but man, the armor that's open on Doomguard doesn't look good on the CT. Oh, Dennis Cool is eating
Dennis
quite a bit of
is
damage.
the orange as heck.
Oh my. And it's
Both of his side torsos are almost out of armor. All he has left is structure padding. Cat and Cat now down to orange at 83%.
Oh no.
But it looks like only one of his side torsos are open, but
That's critical on that mech.
and the victors have finally lost an arm.
But we both know that the arms are not that useful. Only for
At least on the dual heavy Gauss one. Yeah.
You're just
Assassins
extra
are trying to make a move on the Blackjack.
Yep. Maybe, maybe not.
It seems like CXF is misinterpreting what they can do with these assassins. They're just using them to show that they have presence. Assassins usually are the ones that are supposed to be aggressive and gank someone.
And Dennis Goo is just eating up all that damage. My
Panic
goodness.
just... Dennis, it's a 3v1 over here because he just got left by all of the assassins.
Oh no! Where's his buddies? Oh no. Well, it might be a particular
He is
situation.
now
Oh no. And there
now
goes.
a dead man. Rest in peace, Dennis.
They could have used that situation perhaps to push the victors perhaps, but they're a bit worried about the dual heavy Gauss setup that 228 has on those two 9A1s there. Oh, it looks like Panic Button is getting a bit of damage now.
I think this is really starting to just fall into 228's favor. I can't see how CXF can dig themselves out of this hole.
Yeah, with the cap lead on top of that, it's very
And the Carl
bad situation.
taking the 2v1 gives no hex about whether these Vulcans can aim or not.
Yeah, and he's CT open. Oh boy.
These assassins just keep on trading with missiles versus MPL, so I don't understand.
It is a tricky situation indeed. And
And there goes Fuzzy. He just got oofed on by one of the DHG victors. Rest in peace.
Indeed.
One poke, one death.
My goodness, what's going on? It's not looking good for Crossfire here. Clan Crossfire. And
There goes TK.
goes down.
Finally, he was red for so long, and there goes Nakaro as well. Lowell Barbecue is now down as well. All is left is Cat and Cat in a 6v1. Let's go. And he lost a side torso. I probably shouldn't say it that loudly.
Hey, he still has his medium lasers and one set of AC2s. Oh, he's getting quite a bit of dumping there, though. Oh, and a Blackjack is coming in for the kill, and
Resources. This
And
And
terminal
he
will
secured
provide
it
Yeah.
instead of the blackjack.
interesting enough, it went LFE on this Annihilator.
As well in the 6v6 or 8v8. It's not like you're gonna be much use after that, unfortunately.
But unfortunately, my goodness, the damage scores. Oof. There is some questions to be had here. Let's quickly do the lobby stats.
Alright.
And yes, it is.
Alright, let's go over 228 side. First, the two top people. Looks like it was Totak the Potato Hunter and his BJ3 just farming damage with ERPPCs. It's not something you hear very often, but maybe it was a God Strike, maybe?
Quite possible.
And it looks like the second MVP is Panic Button, securing 4 kills and 3 KMDDs. He's coming for that kill spot on the leaderboard. Oh no. And unfortunately, it looks like a couple of the people got left behind under 200, but nice damage spread, I would say, between 4 to 6.
Indeed.
Probably focused on the caps, didn't get the farm as much. Someone stole their Shrek. And on CXF side, the top MVP is Cat himself, utilizing all the carry power he can in that Annihilator with 499 damage. Now even the top of 228 side, yes, wasn't enough to carry though, with just AC2s near mediums. And the second top of it from CXF side was Dennis and his Jaeger. Fortunately, he got ganked by those 3 lights with MPLs. Tried his hardest though. Just could not break them, it seems, this last match. And no excessive team damage, so I guess we could try to head for interviews now.
Indeed.
So I guess we could discuss the map a little bit while waiting.
Well, it looks like neither team leaders are interested.
Maybe they'll arrive sometime soon.
But
Give me a second to finish up the map strat.
Indeed.
Alright, looks like they're actually here now, so I'll drag them in.
All right. Great.
Oh, welcome, Panic and TK87.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Hey guys, interesting matchup there with the first two maps there. Really fine play from Clan Crossfire with that whole situation drawing out the cap in the end. With the Grimplex's map. We'll probably go that back a bit there. What was the whole strategy there, if you can let our viewers and ourselves know?
From our side?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, basically just use the annihilators to camp a cap, then, yeah, get the other caps, or get at least one other cap, and then you can eventually take that Fox 10 hill with the Annies if they're pretty hard to push.
Okay, and Mr. Panic Button. What was your thinking there with the, I believe it was the 5 Uzil situation on map 1?
well, Uzils are quite quick. They bring a lot of firepower to the table. They are able to move across that map pretty effectively. I kind of noted throughout this series that we hit a stopping point where we stagnated on Sigma for about 4 minutes. We were trying to decide whether we felt like they had their entire light pack and the Annihilator sitting on the other side of the hill ready to gank. So if we left one person there, we were pretty much consigning that guy to die, and it really wouldn't net us any benefit to cap. We came up with a few options, like sort of in post, just discussing it as we were prepping for the next drop. That was genuinely a good strategy. Something we looked at doing in the past, actually running a bunch of light mechs with 2 assaults and support. But it tends to struggle if they have a significant. If you don't find a place to camp the Annihilators close enough to the cap point to threaten it, but far enough away so that they can't just immediately get jumped by a bunch of fast mediums. And that was good positioning on Crossfire's part. Was it when we poked up and saw the Annihilators initially? I think they were like 600 meters away from us, which in the time it would take to close, we probably would have sustained significant damage. Probably had a mech or 2 leg, and we would have been kind of up a creek. So we did okay the rest of the map, but I think just as evidenced by the loss, Crossfire played that really well to control the caps, get the win.
Yeah, it was a fairly close match with both sides losing 2 mechs and still fighting on as the game progressed. In the end, it was down to the tickers, or the tickets there. And do you have any questions in that regard, Texan?
Just one for 228 side. Do y'all think maybe we should adapt the deck and maybe take one type of flea type of scout, maybe? Because the timing that the Annie finally arrived and the grasshopper getting caught out may be too much damage received?
No, not at all. That would be a silly idea. Completely defeat the purpose of that deck. I think we just needed to play it a little bit and react a little bit better to what happened. But since we hadn't gotten to scrim that style of deck before with that fast medium rush, we just got a little bit outplayed. We might have even played ourselves at the start there by going too far wide. So there are a couple different things we want to tweak, but I don't think the deck was a problem at all. Changing it would likely just make it a lot worse. But thanks.
Okay, and on drop 2. Let's take a quick look at that, and yes, it was a pretty strong position initially from Clan Crossfire side, as I recollect, with the 2 Jaegers, the Double D and the Sierra, with while 228 had crabs, and in a very fast push brawl situation that occurred. What was let me ask Clan Crossfire side, what was your initial reaction when you had that intel perhaps from your Vulcan that they had that particular drop deck pushing in hard?
Well, I've seen these guys run like all crab decks before on Grim, so it is something we had sort of thought. And the idea was just if they had mechs without jump jacks, which can't jump across that that high ground to Fox 10, just focus legs as they come in. But there was a little bit of hesitation, and we got the intel just a little bit too late when they came around that corner.
And how about on 228 side, when you spotted two Jaeger and that Warhammer, what was your thinking there with your crabs?
As part of the war, the Jaeger mech early, we'd actually run this deck and run practices against decks with Jaeger mechs in it because one of our pilots has a sick obsession with, and so we knew that they were likely more fragile than most other things in their team, but also had really high DPS. And so killing those early on is both easier than killing some of the other stuff moving about the field, and removes a lot of the tonnage that they've sunk into them. So as soon as we sort of realized what type of deck it was, we don't think that if you're trying to push from one of the cap points, it's probably too long of a jog to get up to the top of that Fox 10 area. But if you're just like coming around one of the corners and you full throttle it and they don't have enough of a screen in front of the DPS mechs, and honestly we haven't found a set of mechs that is enough of a screen, kind of looking into a couple different options there, we figured that there was a high likelihood we'd be able to just steamroll them. But basically the same thing we wanted to do with the Annihilators, but Annihilators in 600 meters versus Jaeger mechs in 600 meters is an entirely different ball game.
Indeed. Any questions for our team leads here, Texan?
Not in particularly, but maybe like why the focus on the double D's legs rather than the guns now, since the armor distribution?
If you're shooting a Jaeger mech or any mech for that, the arms are not often available to everyone that's attempting to shoot it, especially if you're trying to run around it. So the legs are usually always available. So you shoot the legs so that everyone on your team can contribute to thus bringing the mech down faster. If you arm the Jaeger mech, I don't see a point. I'd rather have it dead. So I mean, just shoot the legs or shoot the CT. But again, the CT same, not always available for everyone to shoot. But in a confusing brawl like that, you can always usually hit the leg.
Alright, it was just a question. Since the armor redistribution, the EHP of the arms is significantly lower now.
Yeah, we're very well aware.
All right, let's move on to the third drop here. Let me bring up the strat for that. And Team Crossfire, with your particular situation there, what were you trying to do in the Echo 4 Fox 4 situation there, and with your particular setup? And is there any particular strategy that you were trying to achieve there?
Yeah, I mean, the idea was just to take that Echo 4 high ground and then defend against what we thought was going to be a brawl push coming. But they went with a little bit more Overwatch, a little more range trade, which worked out quite well. And of course, the Heavy Gauze Victor did a lot of work.
Indeed, there was almost no positions for to actually shoot back with your current weapon loadouts at that time, which was large lasers versus their I believe 5 ER large grasshopper setup, as well as a few other really interesting mechs, including the Victor 9A1 with heavy Gauss rifles. And with that in mind, 228, can you please enlighten us? What was the whole plan in general?
It kind of worked, I guess, a little bit. We went to move early with fast pulse mechs, upset the initial position of Crossfire, but actually they had good lines down the Fox line, so we rolled back the fast pulse guys. I guess I ran up to take Sigma, so we established a little bit of cap, and they were looking to try to get while our long range guys were working on getting them, whittling them down. We had the Victor there as sort of like a he had a lot of freedom, so he could have been wherever he wanted to be to try to thwart movements. And really, the only guys that were moving heavily on our team were the guys in the back trying to get lines like the blackjack, and then our pulse guys, which were trying to get some picks. If we saw the rotation away from their current position, we were trying to look for stragglers or people that were too far ahead of the rotation and capitalize on that for some easy damage. And we actually got the Phoenix Hawk that we caught on the backside of the central area was an example of that working sort of successfully.
And Texan, do you have any questions or
Probably for CXF. Just kind of curious about your armor sharing, maybe. Like, was there a particular reason why that Phoenix Hawk was caught out near the front after I think Cat and Cat went down first? After he was found crit CT?
I'm guessing that's Steel and the Phoenix. I think at that point we were just in a little bit of disarray and weren't. I wasn't calling as effectively as I should have. If we'd realised how injured he was, then we would have rotated him out a bit. So yeah, the short answer is we didn't know he was crit CT.
Let's move on to the next game.
okay. Oops.
Irvin,
Okay.
your mic's dead.
Sorry. I had a bit of a cough, but yeah. If there was a better situation on drop 3 there, what could have you done in that position? Just delving a little bit into the mining collective strat for our fellow competition pilots.
That directed at me.
Yes, yes.
Ideally I would have broken off a light earlier to go and harass the large grasshopper or a pseudo light. That way, when their Overwatch is, even if not dead, just out of position, then you push a little harder on their other mechs, and you've got a lot more freedom to poke around. And Heavy Goals Victor was using that corner quite effectively, where he'd poke out and shoot. But if you chased him behind, there was an large grasshopper sitting 800 meters back that'd ping you. Which is that's how to effectively use Overwatch. And the counter to that is either have your own Overwatch or to go and take out their Overwatch. You don't need to kill it. You just need a Vulcan that sits there and pings it from 300 meters away and keeps poking back into cover. So it has to then cover behind itself.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. Looks like we'll go and delve into drop 4 there. Once again, on drop 4, usually I've seen in the tournament with Team 2, they prefer to take trading mechs or Overwatch type mechs. But it seemed like you favored the push strategy on this particular map side here. Can you explain to us what was the mindset there?
Simple thing. The idea was grab the high ground, grab a dominating position around the Deco 4 spot. We were actually just dropping to mimic or mirror wherever they dropped in Team 1, and then use the DPS advantage. But it turned out they brought almost identical drops to us from memory. I think the actual mechs were the same, from if I recall correctly.
It was very similar. And on 228's side, please walk us through that whole situation from your perspective.
Well, first you take the same drop deck we used in the previous, and you run it on the other side with the exact same intention, because it works from both sides. So there's no really, we didn't feel like there was a point in reinventing the wheel. The only time we had a little bit of a oh shit moment was when a couple of our guys stayed a little bit too long. Again, those pulse mechs are supposed to be hunting around for stuff that's not well supported. And as I sort of passed by the Victor on the ramp with a couple guys that were sitting by it, and I was like, I think the Victor's down there on the ramp. And instead of going like, okay, well, we shouldn't go, we shouldn't go to put our faces up against that. They were like, is he really? I'll go check. And so they kind of went down there, and the Victor came around the corner on them. And we thought we were going to lose. Did we lose a guy there? We might have. I'm not sure. We thought we were going to lose both those Phoenix Hawks that stayed too long. So we were really trying to react to dig them out of that situation. It's basically just rotate around the map. Whatever side they're not going to take, we're going to take it, because we have the range. With that ER large grasshopper we have the range to sort of play from anywhere on that map.
Mm-hmm.
And the ERPPC Blackjack has the same deal. So those guys are supposed to basically go anywhere they need to get lines, and then everyone else is in a tight rotation around the middle just to try to like screen for them, intercept incoming pushes, smack people that are trying to poke them from close range, the Victor, and then any stragglers or outliers we're supposed to go pick off those pulsators next. Didn't quite work as well as it didn't drop one, but it was pretty good still.
Yeah, it was, wow, well played. And on your perspective, I'm just trying this new investigation kind of questions here. For the 228 perspective, what could have Clan Crossfire have done if, let's say, they had basically the same setup? What would you advise for a team in that position to do against your very similar setup as you had on Drop Tree?
I actually would have to go back and watch the tape. I mean, it's kind of I think there was a moment when our Victor and or Blackjack were caught out, sort of not caught out, but tried to roll in and do some cheeky stuff, and they kind of got away with that. But to my memory, there might have been an opportunity that either Crossfire fully committed and shoved on the two Phoenix Hawks to try to pick up the kill, but that might have. At that point, I think our Victor was actually coming up behind you, so there might have been an opportunity to actually dip your Victor, not fully commit him on the Phoenix Hawks as much as he actually double back and roll up on our Victor up on top of the that tall building that overlooks Theta, and maybe try to make a play for killing him. But I'm not sure how that would have worked out. It's just you have to watch the tape back and see what happened. You can sort of armchair quarterback it from there, but you can't. I can't really make a good an intelligent call there from memory without looking at it, because I only had my perspective,
Yeah, indeed. But that was a really, I'd say, a really useful input for the current for that match 4 situation. And Texan, do you have any questions for our interviewees?
Well, just kind of curious about some of the loadouts CXF took, like on the Blackjack in Mining Collective, taking the heavy PPCs over ERs. What was the main reason for that?
Main idea was just if they're set up around Echo 4, you've got optimum range to Theta, so you can keep mechs off Theta.
Right.
But looking back, we're going to reassess that. We'll see whether ERs are a better option.
To just toss in 2 cents, we had tried both and actually liked. You just have to, well, not you just have to, but we just figured that we would have to play the deck a little bit differently, and in that case we didn't want to, for game pacing reasons, play the heavies, but they work. I mean, yeah, either way. We tested both while I was trying to get it.
I think that's all for me.
All right, thank you. And finally, Drop 5. It was a bit of interesting brawl situation there. Clan Crossfire. Sorry, I'm getting a knock at the door. Clan Crossfire. Do you perhaps
Throw out the question before the door.
Can you let us know what was in your mind with the Jaegers and the Annihilator? Sorry.
Basically, just set them up high with a bit of range from that team. I think it was team, and then just screen with the assassins while the annihilators and the Jaeger do some work.
After that, with the assassins, please let us know what was their situation there.
The idea for them was just to screen while the AC2 mechs do work from distance. The idea being they would get sightlines on Theta and sightlines on those two heavy gauze Victors. But we left the flank open near the Jaeger and he got pushed, obviously. And I think the assassins generally don't do as well against Vulcan, just because the medium pulse pinpoint is better than the SRMs and can outrange it quite significantly.
Yeah, that was a really tough situation. Although I thought it might have been a good situation for the assassin to actually rush the two victors back at Theta while they were camped at Delta 4 a little bit. But other than that, yeah, it's really like a 10 to 20 second window there.
Yeah.
And for 228 team lead, please enlighten us a bit with your whole strategy with the two heavy Gauss victors there, as well as the Blackjack PPC setup there.
Well, we kind of attempted to do our best homage to our mining collective deck with a little bit of change, because we felt like there was a greater risk of some sort of rush on this map for some reason. Either a large grasshopper would have worked equally as well, I suppose, with the same, almost exact same setup. But we just knew that if we gave those victors opportunities to float around early, just in case there was somebody trying to come down Charlie 4 ditch or like over to Kappa, they were there to sort of ambush. We also had the Blackjack that was up high, sort of scouting for them, making sure they didn't run into a trap. The Vulcans were there mainly just to slow roll the match. So taking inspiration to and tipping the hat to like EMP a couple seasons ago, we actually played them in War 8, I think. We played them on Mining Collective, and even at the short range of Mining Collective, what we found was that the assassins fell short when you didn't commit early. So if you like come over and push a guy and you bite in, you dig in and you push him, assassins work great. They blow stuff up. But as soon as the other team is successfully able to disengage or deflect that push, really it turns into kind of a real struggle to find what to do with them if you can't get a hard commit. So we ran the Vulcans to try to do just that, sort of roll back and forth and see if we could find some peaks and picks. And by threatening one side, I think a couple of our Vulcans saw that the assassins had left the Jaeger mech a little bit behind, and so we were able to get in there and poke. And then when he tried to come back around far out to like Charlie 5 to cover the Annihilator, we were able to get the pick on the Jaeger, and that was basically game over at that point. That's a lot of tonnage in that drop to go away, and your Annihilator and your Jaeger mech can't really move. So we didn't feel threatened with the assassins. I don't think they would have been able to successfully push the victors without, because we would have had to let the Annihilators close all the way up to Theta, or the Annihilator and the Jaeger close, and those things don't move very quickly. So we kind of were paranoid from drop 1, where the Annihilators were able to get up to Fox 10 without us knowing, which was kind of like the nail in the coffin, proverbially. So we were on high alert for that shit and the final drop of the match.
And looking back a little bit, back on that final match, TK, what would you have brought instead of the assassins, due to their, you could say, their unreliability with the spread damage and the lack of pinpoint? What would be your pick instead of the assassin, possibly for the next round, you would say? TK, there's nothing. Am I just seeing him lighting up and nothing coming true?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there
Now
we
we
go.
can, yeah.
The short answer is Vulcans, but I'd run out of Vulcans by that point in the drop decks, so that was our second line choice.
Mm-hmm.
You can go Phoenix Hawks. They're not as tanky as Vulcans. I personally don't like them as much, but they'll fill a hole if you need to.
All right. And that would be your pick. Would not the possibly the Roughneck perhaps, or is that too heavy? You think to sacrifice for, let's say, the Annihilator going down on tonnage, or losing the Jaeger at that point?
Yeah, I mean, you can always go 3 Overwatch mechs and 3 screening mechs, or 3 pseudo light, which obviously we have done previously, given how the tonnage works in these drops. So yeah, a Roughneck 3A with the R large, or I've even seen guys bring Battlemaster 1Gs and sit them back.
Okay. And do you have any last words for our fans here? Both team captains. Any words of
Go ahead, Panic.
any words of
Yeah,
recruitment perhaps, or generating
plug for Cat.
interest? Go ahead.
I'll plug for Cat at least. So watch Incoming Missile. He loves that shit.
Oh, definitely. And Texan, do you have any questions for the last drop? I almost forgot about you. Sorry.
Just kind of curious, like with the Alpha Lance Assault, do you think maybe in more competitions you'll see Overwatch, maybe heavies more coming from Alpha Lance on Team 1 side? On the U show?
I mean, it's kind of I don't know. It's not atypical. We saw that a lot. I believe we saw it a lot in a couple like the World Championships where you'd run up that Alpha Lance side, you push some. In a 6v6, you don't have many you have a lot of people to play around with, so it becomes more difficult to do that. It's a little bit more moving parts, I think, than just stacking people up on Charlie Lance. But I think that Team 1, I won't say Team 1 has a harder time dealing with the Epsilon corner push, but you have to get more creative on Team 1 side. You have to use the bridge and the little hill and echo rather than the trash pile, which gives Team 2 some really strong lines down the Echo 5, Delta 5 core. Team 2 also has the advantage of popping up and over that ridge from the D4 ditch. So it's kind of, in my opinion, it's a little bit easier to attack Team 1 Charlie Lance than it is to, I guess, like hold that and use it for cover. And since you don't really in this series have the tonnage to put a unstoppable super weapon up on top of Team 1 Ridge like Delta 5 Echo 4 like you did in 2016 with the Kodiak, it becomes a little bit more difficult to hold that corner. So, I don't know. Overwatch from Alpha, maybe. You got Radio Tower, it's pretty strong. You can also go out wide, the left where it's Kappas. I don't know. Hey, if you haven't tried it, try it. It sort of works. It gives you different options. It may make the other team think a little bit harder. So, there you go.
That's all for me.
All right. Thank you for coming for the interview here. Much appreciated. Both team captains. We have gleaned quite a bit from this experience. It was fantastic matches on both ends. And definitely looking forward to casting more of your matches in the days to come.
And
Cheers, boys.
GG's.
Thanks for the shoutcast.
Yep, thanks.
We'll play Panic.
You as well.
Alright, this is the end for our stream. Much appreciated, Texan, for co-casting with me, and the rest of you folks for joining us for tonight. Have a good evening, good night, good day.